Welcome back, second graders. I'm so excited to see you today. Today we're going to continue on with Sleuth Unit 6, pages 52 and 53. And let's begin by reviewing our learning intentions for today. We are learning to read like a detective so that we can better understand the text by using text evidence. And you're also learning about describing words today. Before we start our story, we're going to look at two vocabulary words for the day. The first word is elect, and this just means to choose someone for office. So maybe you and your friends are outside, you're playing a game, and you're going to elect someone to be the captain for the team. That means you're going to choose someone. Or you might select someone for office. Today we're going to be talking about student council, so maybe your class will elect someone to be your representative on student council. And the second word is representative, and this is a person who speaks for others. So perhaps you have elected a class representative who's going to go to the teacher and speak on behalf of the entire class to say that you would like some extra recess time. Or in our government, we elect representatives who speak for the people, because not all people can go and speak for themselves in Washington, D.C., for example. So those are two words that are going to be important today as we're talking about our story and learning about student councils. So when we read like a detective, remember we look for clues, we ask questions, we make a case, and we prove it. So you're going to be looking for clues today, and you're going to be looking for clues for text evidence and describing words. And as you read, the question that I want you to ask yourself is, what are these describing words telling me about? And what text evidence is the author using to make his or her point? And then in your seesaw assignment, you're going to make your case and prove it. So when we look at text evidence, this is material that the author puts in to support a claim or idea that the author has. So let's watch a video on what that means.
You need to support your answer with the text. You can show your evidence. You need to support your answer with the text. Now you can show your evidence. Highlight or underline whatever you do. You've got to show proof that your answer is true. Pull out a quote, a phrase or two. Showing evidence is what you've got to do. You need to support your answer with the text. You can show your evidence. You need to support your answer with the text. You can show your evidence. How do you know what the character learned? What did they say when the tables turned? How do you know the main idea? And find details to support it. I know you can. You need to support your answer with the text. You can show your evidence. You need to support your answer with the text. Now you can show your evidence.
So that song was showing you how we use text evidence. So we find words, phrases that the author has used to support his or her point of view. So let's take a look at how this would look with our story for the day. So the story that we're going to look at today is called Wanted, Great Student Leaders. And as I'm reading this text to you, I want you to think about finding text evidence that helps to tell that student council is important. And so our author's point of view is that being part of student council is important, and that what they do on student council is important. And you'll notice that I underlined some things for you to help you be thinking about the important job that student council members do. You might also be thinking about any other text evidence that I haven't underlined that you could use, second graders, to help support that student council is important. So are you ready? Let's read. says wanted, great student leaders. Do you have lots of school spirit and fun ideas for helping your school? Are you a good leader? Then you might belong on the student council. Many schools have student councils. These are groups of students who choose to share ideas and make decisions about student activities. So I think that sentence is important because it tells that the student council members help to make important decisions. So I think that's a piece of text evidence to show that student councils are important. Students often elect student council members in a class or grade level election. Council members work hard to be good students, good citizens, and good examples to everyone at school. Some students are officers with special duties. They lead the council meetings, keep records, and work with other school staff members. Others are representatives. There's that vocabulary word that we talked about earlier. They talk to the students in their classes to get ideas. Later, they report back to the class about decisions the student council has made. But what does a student council actually do? It might organize an event such as a school carnival. It might raise money for new equipment. It might plan volunteer activities such as a food drive to help people in the community. If there's a problem in the school, the student council may discuss possible solutions to the problem. Are you ready to make a difference in your school? If so, the student council may be the place for you. And you'll see on this second page that I have almost the whole paragraph underlined because all of that is telling the important work of what a student council does. It organizes activities that will get money for the school to buy things it needs. It might work with the community to have a food drive. So all of those clues help us to know that student councils are important. But also within this passage, boys and girls, the author was also using describing words to talk about what a student council member does. So think about what's on the screen and what I read. What do you think the author is describing or telling us are important jobs of student council? Well, as you're thinking, I think you're right. I think they take important information back to their classrooms about decisions and things that are made. And I think I heard somebody thinking out loud saying that that they're also describing the jobs of a student council when it looks at this paragraph that talks about raising money and things like that. So in this paragraph, or in this text, the author was doing two things. Number one, the author was supporting his opinion and using text evidence to talk about why student council is important. And the author was also describing the jobs of the student council members. So in your seesaw activity today, you're going to be supporting your answer about what the author is describing and why student council is important. So be ready to answer those questions in your seesaw assignment for today, boys and girls. And as always, don't forget to read 10 to 15 minutes. Remember, that could be reading alone, it could be reading to a parent, or it could be reading to a younger or older brother or sister. Thanks for joining me today for our sleuth lesson, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.